All right, GM everyone, happy Friday. Hope you guys are having a great start to the day so far. This is an amazing Friday, and I believe many of us are in the midst of the holiday seasons. The vibes are possibly at one of like the all-time high, should I say, regardless of what the markets look like. It doesn't really matter because everybody's getting ready to celebrate time with your loved ones. And it's so nice to bring our folks back together to celebrate the last town hall of the year. And as most of us may have already been pretty familiar with it as well, every last Friday of the year, we essentially run our town hall a little bit differently. Usually, these sessions are often done in our Discord where it is a little bit more intimate, but every last Friday of the month, we bring it out to spaces where we can run through a little bit more and get everyone to come together as a whole community and share with the wider ecosystem on what Solana's one of the OG community, MonkeDAO, is working on, in the most recent month or so. And this week is a relatively unique one. We actually have invited a very special friend and guest to join us, and it may take a while for him to tune in. But in the meantime, we actually have prepared some of the other stuff that we do want to run through with everybody. But before we do that, I know we've been getting a lot of questions as well. A lot of folks have been asking us, hey, there is the claw machine ongoing, and you guys have mentioned about a very special Tesla raffle. When is the Tesla raffle happening? So the Tesla raffle is going to be triggered in just about 7 minutes time, and you are still able to lock in your spins and be eligible for it. So if you haven't actually, sort of used up your monkey play tokens just yet, this is probably the time to do so. So please do it ASAP and make sure that you are able to utilize all your monkey play tokens, because essentially what happens after the raffle for the Tesla is triggered in about 7 minutes time or 6 minutes time, really, really soon, is that the option to use the monkey play token will be deactivated. So this will be essentially your very, very last chance to utilize the monkey play tokens. And in about 7 minutes time, we will know who exactly the winners for the Tesla raffle will be, as well as a Gen 2 that is up for raffle. Take note that they are not entirely related. Although in the very, very wow event that, the two winners of the raffle are from the same individuals, that could be a scenario, although that the chances of it happening is likely going to be very, very slim and very, very low. All right, so that's that. Just take note of it. And I think as of now we are seeing close to 450 so essentially that has been raised via the core machine, that has been set aside entirely for the Bong for Pause initiative. Now this 450 so will also be matched, for every single so collected by Bong as well. And so that means collectively we are expecting somewhere close to 900, and maybe just after the town hall we will get somewhere closer to 1,000 so to end of the year and contribute it to charity with 1,000 so. Not too bad a year at all. And shout out to everyone who helped to make it happen. All right, we're probably going to give a couple more minutes for our friends to start coming in, and hopefully we'll have Luca join us later on as well. We will run through a little bit around some of the most exciting updates that we've lined up. I think this week as well, we pushed out a lot of new tweets. I think, usually every single year, it's always the case whereby closer to the year end, you see a lot of quieter times, like lesser tweets, etc. But I think this year it has been the extreme opposite, the entirely opposite case for us altogether. And we've been pushing out so many content with so many amazing stuff lined up. So what better way to maybe screen through this than to run through our newsletter together? And for everyone who's listening in, and if this is your very first time, Thank you for joining us. This is essentially our Monkey Weekly Town Hall, and this is a special edition because it's the last Friday of the month, and so we're hosting it on public. And if you are interested to interact with our monkeys on Discord, we do have that option as well. Feel free to join up our Discord, and you can always just be there straight away. All right, it seems like we actually have our guests here. So before we bring up the newsletter, I want to make sure that we welcome our guest, which is Luca from Pudgy Penguins. I'm going to send him an invite to come up to speak as well. Give me a couple of seconds. Let's see if I can find Luca in the. Oh, hey, GM
already
Luca.
here.
Thank you for taking time to join us. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here amongst some of Solana's most OG community. Huge fan of the monkeys, so happy to be here.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks once again. Appreciate you taking the time to join us. As we were just running through as well, I'm sure you may have caught a slight glimpse of that. This is our Monkey Weekly Town Hall. We run this every week, and this just happens to be one of the special edition, which is the last Friday of every month. We run it on Spaces, where we can share with the wider community on what's happening, and we are extremely excited to end off the year by inviting you to come and join us. So instead of running our usual schedule, we're going to switch things up a little bit with you as our special guest today. I'm sure many individuals here have tuned in just to be here with you and hear from you. So why don't you start off this session for us by letting us know a little bit about yourself? How did you end up on Solana as well? I think a lot of people have been very excited around why Pudgy on Solana. So Luca, without further delay, thank you once again for joining us. Take the stage away.
Yeah, well, I think maybe to start off, why Solana? I think it just kind of comes down to the community and culture. I've been a huge fan of what the Solana community was able to bring to the table and has been able to bring to the table for the last couple of years. I think it's the most active on-chain community by a Texas mile. I think it is a group of hungry, community members as well as builders. And there's just something about the culture that I think makes a lot of sense here. And naturally, I think a huge part of us doing Pengu was this idea that, like, hey, Pudgy Penguins actually has millions of people that know and love the brand outside of crypto. And we want to create a vehicle for them to actually participate in the growth of the brand. I think one of the great case studies we've been able to show over the last couple of years is, hey, look what we're able to do with 10,000 unique aligned holders, and then being able to move the needle and push the ball forward in a way that I think is pretty historic in traditional terms. And let's just go and scale that 100x and try to get 1 million people or 2 million people or 3 million people aligned. And, to actually have that relationship with the fan base that exists outside of crypto, it just seemed pretty obvious that the best experience for that person to come in and participate and align themselves today is very much Solana, right? And so if you understand the phantom experience and just the whole, average person getting into crypto, them being able to onboard via Solana is definitely the easiest form of onboarding today, in my opinion. And if we were going to launch this now, it just seemed obvious. I was just like, look, I think, on one side of the spectrum, you have an amazing community of, community members and builders. You have a product that is speaking to the audience that we want to speak to in a way that no other product in crypto today is. And I think probably the third and final point was understanding the landscape. So I very much think what we're bringing to Solana is very different than I believe what most people are bringing to Solana. And my assessment internally was pretty simple. I think Solana has everything except a cultural phenomenon. And I think for Solana to take that next step, it needs something that I think, breaks barriers and pushes boundaries in a way that I think nothing on Solana has done quite yet. I think Ethereum has done it once before via Bored Apes. I think, Doge had done it, via its own ecosystem. But I believe that we can be that for Solana. And so I also saw the opportunity to differentiate ourselves amongst, I think, the current ecosystem. And those would probably be the three reasons why we chose Solana.
All right, yeah, thanks a lot, Luca. I think there are one key point I do want to add on a little bit, which is to your point around the Phantom experience. Even for myself personally, how I ended up sort of spending so much time digging down this rabbit hole on Solana is exactly what you mentioned. It was the Phantom experience that got me stuck here. The moment I downloaded my first Phantom wallet and then started playing around, I was like, hey, I think this is where I want to continue spending more time. So I totally agree with that. Now that we've known a little bit about why Solana, why don't you also tell us a little bit about this cultural phenomenon that you guys are building? What exactly is Pudgy Penguin?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think from our perspective, what I want Pudgy to ultimately be over the next couple of months is I want it to be the unequivocal face of crypto. And I want it to be the unequivocal mascot of crypto. Meaning when you think of a character in crypto, you think Pudgy Penguins first, and then you start going down the list. And I think we're really well positioned to be that because of the universal nature of the IP, because of the positioning and diversity of the community. I mean, we really have everyone from every walk of life. And I think fundamentally, when you look at like what we're doing for the space, it's very much trying to reinvent the taboo and the intimidating nature of crypto and trying to make it accessible and digestible for the regular person. And so I think when you like pair all of those things together and you kind of identify those ingredients and you look at what actually has the opportunity to spread across the world, via a crypto project, but also a Web2 project in a way that everyone kind of galvanizes around, it's hard for me to believe that there's anything more well positioned than Pudgy Penguins to go and achieve that goal. And so, what is a cultural phenomenon, at its core? It's really something that takes over the world, right? And because of Pudgy and because of, I think, the way that the brand has been positioned here over the last couple of years, whether you're 5 years old, whether you're 60 years old, whether you're in Asia, whether you're in America, no matter your demographic or your psychographic, right? This is something that everyone understands and can relate to and galvanize around. And it's also important to note that I think a lot of the brand positioning is around uplifting people and making a positive impact and things like that. On its face, for maybe like the young man, maybe comes off like a little corny or cringe, but to be frank, like if you actually understand and kind of mature a little bit, you kind of realize that stuff is probably the most important stuff when everything is all said and done. And I don't think crypto's had a force of nature like this, right? A force of goodness, a force that, everyone can identify and resonate with, and something that, is clearly, taking over the real world as much as it's taking over crypto. And so the goal is like, there's been two cultural phenomenons up until this point, right? In crypto, in my opinion. The first one was Doge. We saw how that played out. And the second one was Bored Apes. We saw how that played out. I think Pudgy Penguins has all the ingredients to do what those two projects did. But I think we can go further. I think we can go further because we have a second or third mover advantage. I think it gives us an idea of what to do and what not to do. I think we have a more universal IP that people can resonate with and galvanize around. And I think we have a lot bigger of a moat based off of what we've done over these last couple of years that makes people trust the Pengu in a way that I think everyone will kind of accept if that reality becomes true. Meaning, I think social consensus is pretty clear that if like Pudgy Penguins and Pengu, if Pudgy Penguins is the number one NFT project in the world, I think everyone would appreciate that. They would accept that. They would agree with that. I think if Pengu ultimately becomes the number one mimetic character coin in the world, I think a lot of people will appreciate that. They will respect that. They will accept that. Right? And so I think all things considered, it's really just the nature of looking at the ingredients and understanding what ingredients you have that ultimately, give you the highest probability to become what I think is the highest point for one of these style projects to become, which in my opinion is like, PFP, IP style businesses. The highest upside is becoming a cultural phenomenon, being something that everyone around the world is talking about and participating in some shape, way, or form. And that is the goal, right? And I think that should be the goal for a majority of NFT, PFP products, because I think they're most well positioned to achieve something like that. And I think very few other style projects are able to kind of go in that direction. But it's pretty clear to me that this is this has to be the goal. This has to be the target. It has to be the objective. And how we support that, happens through a bunch of different vehicles, right? As Pudgy Penguins continues to do partnerships and make headlines and do things that no other crypto company has done before. It exposes more people to the Penguin. It creates more love and affinity around the Penguin, right? Which ultimately drives demand, and it drives belief and conviction. And then on the other side of it, you have something that I think, as you kind of do, more of these initiatives, it kind of just moves and inches forward towards that end goal, right? And so, that can be, us announcing something that's really special with another, major company that puts more Penguin products in more places around the world, right? That can be a community member, wearing a profile picture across all socials representing their Pudgy Penguin, which is, giving impressions and familiarity, to their audience. It's, me sending a Pudgy Penguin GIF in a family group chat, right? Ultimately, these things kind of compound, and the more they compound, the more people begin to believe, the more people, become conscious of the Penguin. And as that kind of just steamrolls and snowballs, you ultimately get to a final destination, which is a cultural phenomenon. Now, mind you, it's important to note that this has always been the thought process, right? This isn't like a new line of thought as of the last couple of months. This has been the line of thought almost to a T for the last 3 years for us, right? And so I know this line of thought works, and it's a compounding one. It's one that you have to believe in. It's one that has clearly taken quite a bit of time, but it's now put us in the position where I think we're leading in a couple different sectors, and I think it's going to be the thing that continues to push us forward. So I'm a firm believer in just creating more demand, creating more love and affinity. Those tokens are naturally finite in supply, whether they're NFTs or tokens. There's only so many that exist unless you're inflationary, but neither of our tokens, whether they're NFTs or Pengu, are inflationary, right? And so now it's a matter of what can you do to help build conviction and belief, and what can you do to create more demand? And as long as you keep going down that rabbit hole and doing those two things, it's not if you succeed, it's when. And so, it's for these reasons that I believe that, this is really the beginning of something really special.
Wow. Thank you, Luca. That was definitely a mouthful, but I do have to say that there are many, many points that we can all agree with. And one thing for sure as well that I do have to, sort of just highlight is that I think there are probably at least a couple of instances, well, more than a couple, in fact, that I have seen my own family members who knows nothing about crypto sending me either stickers or GIFs around, Pudgy Penguins content, and it's just unbelievable because, for someone, example like us looking at it from the inside, it's like everything is just as expected, right? You would expect, people to be using content of different communities, etc. But to actually see it get, proliferated throughout the sort of mainstream audience, and for them to actually be using it in their daily lives and sending it to their family members is definitely, a big step towards building that culture you're talking about. And, I think that is one thing that everyone, really do enjoy just seeing and watching it all come together as well. So thank you for that. Now, I do have, one spicy question that was put together by a few community members as well, and was kind of lightly requested. So before we do that, I just want to give everybody a reminder as well. Also to thank Luca for his time. We're also running a very mini giveaway. We usually don't do as much of this special edition, but also to thank Luca and the Pudgy community, to welcome them on the slide. We're running a giveaway of some Pengu tokens. Not going to sort of disclose how much exactly they are worth in terms of value, but all that you need to do is to retweet the pin of the tweet that is put out right now, and make sure that you are still at the town hall towards the tail end. Later on, we'll do a raffle of all the folks who have retweeted and are still on the town hall live, and the winners will be announced at the town hall itself. All right, so that will be a total of 3 winners for X number of Pengu tokens for you to take away. All right, now Luca, thank you so much for running through that. The spicy question that have been fielded by a couple of our committee members or rather some of the comments that were raised in earlier, is that what do you think about the people who mention comments around like, hey, the Pudgy Penguins is on ETH originally, but you guys are now porting it to Solana. Are you a betrayer to ETH? What do you think of this entire thought process of these individuals or this group of individuals? And I'm sure you had your fair share of dealing with them.
Yeah, I think from our perspective, it's like I've always said for the last couple of years that I want Pudgy Penguins to be the face of crypto, not the face of Ethereum, right? And so, like, I don't think Pudgy and the Pengu is bound by any chain or any ecosystem. I mean, ultimately, we will always pay homage to every ecosystem that we're on. On Ethereum, we're going to continue to lead the charge. We're going to be the number one NFT project on Ethereum. I am unequivocally confident that will happen. And once that happens, I believe we will hold it for a very long time. I believe that Pudgy Penguins will be, and Pengu specifically will help lead the charge on Solana. And I think one of the most beautiful things about this is I think one of the first times you can reference this like anti-maximalist take. And I really think we're just trying to do what I think the Pengu is best positioned to do, which is unify. Right? Pengu is one of those interesting things where it's like everyone loves the Pengu, right? You love it for what the community was able to survive through and persevere through. You love it because of its underdog story. You love it for what it does in terms of, bringing new people into the space and how it gets, your friends and your family members and your niece or your nephew or your son or your daughter, excited about crypto. It's chain agnostic in my opinion. And I think at some point, one of the elephants in the room for us was like, how much bigger can we get on ETH? Right? Like at some point, it's like, I've done everything humanly possible to speak to every single person on Ethereum. That's attend every conference, speak at every conference, do every event physically possible, right? Do every space and interview physically possible. So it's like if you're an Ethereum maximalist and you don't own a Pudgy Penguin, like there's nothing I could have done at a certain point to make you want to own one, right? And I think there's something to be said about their strength in numbers. Pengu and how cultural phenomenons are achieved are really achieved through an insane amount of overwhelming demand. And overwhelming demand of that magnitude comes from maximum alignment with a maximum amount of people, right? And so, we're not riding the wave of like a new shiny object in a new sector the way that NFTs were 3 years ago. You very much have to take a different playbook than you did back then, because back then, like, crypto it's like AI agents, right? Like you're just going to buy every AI agent right now because it's the new hot shiny object, regardless if it's somebody manually making tweets on a Twitter account. Like if it has the AI agent narrative, you're buying, right? And so to like some extent, like you don't have those same wins, I think, in the sales of NFTs the way you once did, in which like all you had to do was perform and there would be some sort of overwhelming demand. Like you have to be a lot more strategic and methodical, and you have to be a lot more willing to take a risk, is ultimately the conclusion that I came to a couple months ago. The conclusion that I came to a couple months ago is like, if you don't take a risk and if you don't really try to push the boundary and break a barrier or do something that is really exciting, I think you'll ultimately fade into irrelevancy. Right? Like PFPs have always been one of the most exciting things in crypto for anybody who's participated in those ecosystems. PFPs are naturally, exciting vehicles and kind of the anchor to these companies that create a ton of excitement in a way that very few crypto companies can. And so, from our perspective, it was like, look, we need to grow the army. The army is biggest on chain today on Solana. I have a ton of respect for that ecosystem, like I said a couple times already, but it's an ecosystem I want to be a part of. It's one that I've admired for many years now. And ultimately, it is the best vehicle to bring all of these millions of people that know and love Pudgy and Pengu on chain, aligned with the brand and its success. And so, ultimately, I think it just comes down to growth. And I think any project that is specifically handicapped to one specific chain, you're going to reach a moment in time at some point. That point might not be now, right? That point might not be a year from now, but at some point, you're going to have spoken to everybody in the ecosystem. And so, I think from our perspective, it's like, look, I want to be the great unifier. I want to be the outlier. I want to be the person that brings everyone together, right? Because the Pengu is positioned to be that, right? And so why overthink things and just, try to remain on a certain chain because of some sort of arbitrary politic that I had no role in conjuring up, right? Like, I think sometimes the crypto politics are a little silly because it's like we're still not big enough to the point where I think we can become political, 100%. Right? And it's like me versus you. It's still like us versus the rest of the world. Oh. Right? So I think that was kind of my perspective. And I did overthink this part of it for a very long time. It was one of the reasons why I think you didn't see Pengu earlier. But ultimately, I think it's not about, this chain or that chain. It's about proliferating the Penguin and making the Penguin the most popular thing in the world. And if and when that happens, everyone who's aligned with the Pudgy Penguin and the Pengu is going to be extremely happy. And it's not about picking sides and playing politics because that doesn't really get anybody anywhere.
Totally. Yeah. Thank you so much, Luca. This was definitely, very insightful. And I'm sure, you came here prepared because this was definitely a question that you and the team probably had to answer, 1,000 times or so at least, given that, you guys, announced Penguin, Solana and whatnot. So, appreciate you coming here to share with us so transparently. So before we let you go, we do have one most important question. Which is how can folks contribute, given that you guys have released Pengu now, how would you like, folks who are interested about the Pudgy Penguin ecosystem all in all, how would you like, folks to, just contribute and be a part of, how can they follow more and just learn more about the Pudgy ecosystem overall?
Yeah, the beauty is we've made it easy for people to participate. And so whether that's buying $1 worth of Pengu or participating in our NFT ecosystem, if you resonate with them as an identity and you obviously want to be a part of that community, I think like there's scales to it. I think the easiest scale is like, look, it takes you about 60 seconds a day to tweet once about Pengu, to share a GIF in the family group chat. Every GIF that exists, there's a Pudgy Penguin version out there. All you have to do is type in Pudgy before the GIF you want to send, and you'll find one. Share an Instagram post, like, retweet, comment, right? Like, there's very menial things that you can do, and then obviously the people that want to go above and beyond, that want to get together and build sub communities and make products, right? Like, I think one thing we're really going to focus on going into the new year is really rewarding and supporting the people that go above and beyond. And that's kind of like our mantra and our ethos here. So I think it starts and stops with something as simple as like, hey, find out how you want to align yourself with this story, right? Whether that's, Pengu or Pudgy Penguin NFTs, participate in the ecosystem at a minimum by, following the accounts and engaging in the content and sharing the content where you think it makes sense. And at a maximum, do what you can to, help proliferate the Penguin, whether that's, creating UGC or making products or, doing other things that you think are ultimately, driving the Penguin out there into the real world. Ultimately, the Penguin does a lot of the heavy lifting because a lot of people love the Penguin. All you got to do is share it and get it out there. And so I think there's that balance, right? At a minimum, and then obviously, if you're at Walmart, go buy some Penguin toys. If you're at Target, if you're in other places around the world and you see, a toy section, go give it a peek and see if there's a Pudgy Penguin around there. And that would probably be where I'd start and kick things off. And then over the course of the next coming months, we have a couple things that we've been working on in terms of, what it looks like to really engage people who want to participate and go above and beyond. But that would be my call to action to anyone listening who wants to help do their part in pushing this thing forward.
All right. Thank you so much, Luca. And before we let you go, do you have a monkey?
I do. So I'm actually big fans of the Big Brain crew, and they're big champions of the monkey. So I bought a couple monkeys years ago.
Yes, thank you, Luca.
And I have a ton of respect for this ecosystem specifically. I mean, you guys, I don't think there's three better Solana NFT projects than Monkey. So huge fans of what you guys are working on.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I recall having this exact same conversation in New York City when we were, sitting by a conference together. So this was really nice to have you here. Thank you so much for, taking time out of your busy schedule and most importantly, in the midst of the festive season to come and join us. This was an amazing and super insightful session. Appreciate you once again. Feel free to let us know, of course, if we can be helpful. MonkeDAO has always been around, and we have always been a big fan of our partner projects, especially different communities across Solana. So we look forward to potentially continuing to put out more collaborative efforts across maybe Monkeys and Pudgy down the road. Once again, appreciate you taking the time to join us.
Thank you for having me, and have a monkey Friday.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much, Luca. To everyone else who just tuned in, just a reminder as well, you may still be able to qualify for the giveaway. All we need you to do is to just retweet the pinned tweet. And one of our team members, I believe it will likely be the Raffle Master, Moon Settler, will be running our raffle today. Later on, you just need to be at the Town Hall live, and we will be able to give out some of the Pengu tokens. All right. So without further delay, this has been an exciting first part of Town Hall. One of the best way to end this year in a unique manner. And I just received news that the raffle has successfully concluded. And I'm just going to be reporting live on the different winners. The Tesla winner actually came from an address of an individual that spun the coin machine for the highest number of times. And the Gen 2 is from this individual, starting with a wallet. 1 second. Let me just confirm. Oh, wow. Okay. This Gen 2 winner looks very, very familiar. Right. And the word is that we may also have the Tesla winner joining us on our spaces right now. I know we are jumping a little bit across different sort of agenda items lineup, but we may have the winner of Tesla join us. All right. So we will bring him up very, very soon. But before that, I do want to make sure that we get back to our Town Hall agenda item very quickly so that we can run through everything that we want to cover with everybody as well and make sure that we run the raffle with you guys. All right. So without further delay, I want to run through the Banana Split 150th edition. As we highlighted as well, no Monkey Town Hall is essentially complete without running through our Banana Split on a weekly basis. So given that this is the 150th edition of the Banana Split, we've decided to do it a little bit more uniquely, bringing back to basics, featuring our very, very own monkey artist, Dr. PP or Dr. Pepe, whatever way that you like to call him. He's just a very, very talented monkey, and I'm sure he doesn't mind. So check out the artwork. Simon and the newsletter team put it together. I absolutely love every single aspect of it. Is so much fun just looking at it, and it's just all bananas and nothing else. All right, so the Banana Split 150th edition this week also features the Christmas Advent Calendar with the 24 Days of Monkey. Shout out to all the partners, 3 specific partners as well. So Major Duco, who's been amazing help to us, helping us anchor everything from the get-go. We have a full list of folks that we want to thank that we'll share today as well. In the newsletter specifically, we've included a section around the 2024 year in review. We'll run through that as well later on, so don't worry, you don't have to run through it right now, so you won't fall asleep, don't worry. We want to continue highlighting some IRL events that may be relevant, especially as we continue the countdown towards 2025. The first is Athens DAO happening on January 24th, 25. That's the Istanbul that is apparently heating up. A lot of chatters coming up around it as well. Solana Developer Bootcamp in NYC, MonkeDAO. I know Simon Moonsettler has they have been having some conversations around potentially being there. So if you guys plan to be there, please send Simon a message. We're hoping to maybe put together some activities for monkeys to get together at the very least. So stay tuned for that. I believe we will also have group chats and everything set up really soon as well. All right. So if you're interested and you're curious what MonkeDAO is about, please apply there directly. We've linked the application form there as well. All right.
Just going to interrupt you really quick here, Jemmy. Just post the link to the Monkeys at MonkeDAO 2025 chat in the Discord chat. So it's in there, and there's going to be a bunch more available for the other events coming up this year. Back to you, Jimmy.
All right. Thank you, Simon. Simon is basically the monkey who runs all the community gating. So that's why he is the Mr. Know-It-All within our MonkeDAO community setup. If you are missing any Telegram link, just send him a message and he will basically get it for you within like 3 seconds. All right. So thank you, Simon. So NFT Paris is also coming up alongside ETH Denver, Consensus Hong Kong, Solana Apex Cape Town. All right. And onwards to our favorite section of the week, which is the monkeys on Twitter. Feel free to go check it out. I think one of my favorite has got to be the Goku monkey with the Christmas background by our Easy Bake Soul, as well as many sort of monkey content, especially with all the monkey sweaters getting featured. Shout out to KZ, shout out to Ali, shout out to Matt Noise, who got his parents, or rather his family members, all monkey sweaters as well. Bihi, our crypto god, and wow, our very own Stroll, who was wrapping the monkey sweater in the Taiwan blockchain way. This entire week has been a lot of fun, especially around some of the content that we'll be sharing. One of the bigger events that we were hosting was a decentralized Christmas party. We will share the tweet later on as well. But highly encourage you guys to go check it out. There were a lot of sort of hype building up as well towards the countdown of the Tesla raffle. Unfortunately, none of us are the winners from the team. Or fortunately, so you don't have to worry about any conversations around this. I do wish it was me, but unfortunately, just not today. All right. So what exactly does the DAO offer? Just a note as well, if you guys are curious. We do have the Monday Monkey Spotlight. It's essentially a platform for folks to come out and talk about anything and everything that they're working on that could be interesting. It can be anything Web2 or Web3 related as well. We've had monkeys who came up to share about Web2 related projects or Web3 related projects, and that's entirely fine. We also have a grants program built with MonkeDAO. This is designed to help push the Solana ecosystem forward. And then shout out to our amazing Monkey Music, Monkey Ventures. Wow, this week's chart looks beautiful. A lot of green. So hopefully you guys are excited just looking at it all together. And with that, this is the 150th edition of our, pretty much the banana split, or should I say the special edition. Next up, we do want to bring out maybe Cersei to chat a little bit about the decentralized Christmas party, but I'm not sure if Cersei's network is maybe strong enough to handle this level of hype. So Cersei, just let me know otherwise. If not, I will be more than happy to help us run through that as well.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sounds like you're ready to take it on. So let's pin the tweet and let's run through the decentralized Christmas party.
That is amazing. Okay, so firstly, shout out to so many people that made this possible. Firstly, I think Stroll, who leads the local ambassadors, and our 20 local ambassadors who took the time to book the venue, as well as just make sure all the monkeys are taken care of. So back in November, we the core team thought that maybe it would be a great idea for monkeys to gather over for Christmas, because as you know, monkeys have the best events ever. No, but that being said, we have decided that it would be a great idea to, this is a festive season, to up the budget a little as compared to our normal what's that called? Normal gatherings, like normal dinners and stuff like that. So everyone got a budget to spend a little bit more, and also everyone had a budget to make certain gifts. So we give like all the local ambassadors this guideline, and then what we have now is a total of 20 parties all over the world, like in America, in Europe, in Asia, and all of that. And if you want a very clear overview of who's included, check out the video that Jerry just pinned. You can truly see for yourself just how massive MonkeDAO is and how the community vibes of MonkeDAO is as well, and just how many countries there are monkeys, and how strong this monkey bonds are. And if you're curious to like learn about monkey, feel free to check out the videos, see if there's a chapter in your country, and reach out to the local ambassadors and ask more, because I'm sure they're more than happy to share a little bit more about what MonkeDAO does in both your countries and as a whole. And yeah, that is that. I'll let the video speak for itself. So check it out once you're free after this town hall, anytime. It is, I can assure you, even though it's no longer Christmas already, it will make you feel happy for the festive season. That's it for myself.
All right. Thank you, Cersei. Really appreciate it. There's an unspoken rule that Christmas lasts till the 1st of January. This is something that I just learned about. So, feel free to go check it out. And like Cersei mentioned as well, I do want to take this opportunity to, shout out our amazing local ambassadors to be able to bring the entire community together on a global scale in a decentralized manner is not something of an easy feat. And to be able to do it, for 20 different chapters, which, involve like hundreds and hundreds of monkeys across the 2 week is just insane. I think this is easily one of the most impressive activation that we've done, and this was only possible because of everyone that came together and make sure that everything were able to sort of get into place all together across all the regions around the world. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for making it happen and making it a reality for all of us. All right. So one of the talk of the town for the last month as well across the ecosystem has always been about the 24 days of monkey. And now, as we mentioned as well, with the wrap up of the 24 days of monkey campaign, alongside, some of the Tesla raffle, the Gen 2 raffle that has already been triggered. Shout out to everyone who won it. We also want to make sure that we take this opportunity to share with you some of the most updated numbers. I know just this Monday we had a special spaces where we invited most of our amazing partners come up, share their thoughts around it as well. But given that today is the official end of the raffle, we decided to do it again briefly, but most importantly to give you the most updated numbers. So without further delay, the latest number of stats that we have seen so far is around 56,000 of spins. 56,000 of spins generated today, and this involves close to 340,000 USD in terms of value to date at the current SOL prices. And that is essentially the highlight that we're looking at. And as of right now, we have close to 160K that will be earmarked to be given to the Bong for Paws program, inclusive of the dollar by dollar match by Bong as part of the matchup through the funds that are generated and collected. So one of the core partners that helped to make this possible is Encore Labs. So as we celebrate this achievement with the entire community at large, we want to make sure we can bring out our friends from Encore Labs to talk a little bit about what exactly they are building and how they made it possible for us today as well. So Renji, I see you in the audience list, very iconic PFP, and we know that in just a matter of days you will be changing that PFP to monkey really soon. But until then, let's bring you up because you're still very iconic. Please send us a request to speak, and we will put you up to share with us everything about your experience with the 24 days of monkey. All right, and as we start to bring up Renji, I know that we also have Viz from the Bong for Paws initiative join us today as well. So Viz, if you can also send us a request to speak, we would love to bring you up the stage right after Renji. Renji, GM, seems like you made it up. Feel free to take over the stage. Tell us everything that you know and everything that you've experienced about the 24 days of monkey.
Hey. Yeah, it's Renji again. Yeah, congratulations to all the monkeys with this successful activation event. You guys broke all the records and that we had. And we really appreciate the opportunity again. Um, I mean, you guys were going crazy on it, and we had to fix a lot of stuff. We patched, we deployed most patch the history of Encore Labs to make it the more to get the machines work better. And I'm just glad that we pulled through it. Yeah. Events. What we've been building on the side is something called Arena X, which is the decentralized esports tournament organizer. Basically, people can come together, esports players or gaming competitive gaming players could come together and play a match, and the spectators will be able to see the matches from every player's perspective. And you can make side bets on it. You could also host a tournament. Sponsors could come in and sponsor the match itself, and the sponsored money will go to the winners of that match. So that's something that's we've been building on the side. I'm pretty sure the monkeys have a lot of esports enjoyers. It would be really fun if we could play something together with, I don't know, maybe against the Penguins, right? Or even Boogles. So we have some gamers in Boogles, and that would be really fun. If we'll continue to communicate with the MonkeDAO team, and try to support you the best way we can. All right.
All right. Thank you, Renji. Sounds like more opportunity for player pump players. So why not? Thank you so much once again for helping us make the 24 Days of Monkey such a success. Without you guys, the infrastructure partner, of course, this would not have been possible at all. So shout out to you guys. And I will always remember the first week of the 24 Days of Monkey. I think Renji still believes that it's one of the best week of his life so far. Last remarks, Renji? All right. So thank you once again. Appreciate you taking the time to join us. Next up, we do have Bonk for Pause. As we highlighted as well, we have close to 160K that will eventually go to the Bonk for Pause initiative. Of course, that is inclusive of the dollar for dollar sort of matching grant by Bonk as well. Shout out to them for so graciously coming up with this. The festive of joy, love, and giving is always nice. For folks to win. But what makes it really impactful and meaningful is when we can also, help to contribute to, sometimes the less fortunate group. And this may not just be, our counterparts. And sometimes this can be, for our furry friends as well. And so Bong for Paws is an amazing initiative, with the entire Bong team. We've been able to sort of organize this. So I do want to sort of bring out our friends as well, Vitz from Bong for Paws, to come out and share with us a couple of words on their experience so far. And whenever you're ready, Vitz, I will try to find you in the audience list again in case if you did get rugged by spaces.
GM, I did get rugged. I'm hoping you can hear me now.
Yes, GM, I can hear you, no problem at all.
Thanks again for inviting me. I love the monkeys. It's been such an incredible experience going through this 24 days of monkey. Shout out to Stroll for keeping me updated every step of the way. You guys have been incredible, awesome, and we just appreciate the generosity so much. A little bit about Bonk for Paws. For those of you who don't know, we are a charitable initiative that came out of the Bonk ecosystem. We've been running a series of initiatives throughout the year. Many of you have seen the fashion shows or even volunteered and be a part of them. We've been able to raise quite a bit of funding before counting in the monkey donations, just over 55,000 in funding throughout the year for many of our furry partners. We have about 8 charity partners right now that we're working with through the Giving Block, and every dollar, every soul, every bonk donation counts. So thank you again for your amazing, amazing generosity. It's been incredible.
All right, thank you, Viz. Appreciate you taking the time to join us. Indeed, this program is what helped us make it even more meaningful and impactful. Ending the year with a positive note. Hopefully, throughout the process, everyone did walk away with something aside from one fork or like one Duco token or some major token that we've been giving away. But no matter what you walked away with, know that every single spin that you've been degenning has in a way or another helped to contribute to the a better future for our furry partners, most importantly. And shout out to Bong for Paws for doing God's work, basically, for putting the entire initiative together. We can't be more excited to continue working with you guys and finding even more exciting ways to partner up with you. Thank you once again. All right. So next up, we also did wrap up the Tesla raffle, as we mentioned, and it seems like we also have the winner join us live on Town Hall to share with us his thoughts and his strategy around winning the on-chain raffle. Well, I'm sure it was a lot of hard work. And before I spill any beans, GM, the man, or rather the monkey, is none other than Bitcoin Speaks. Congratulations once again. Very excited that you won the Tesla. Feel free to unmute yourself. Thank you for taking time to join us. Share with us, how do you feel right now, most importantly, and how did it all play out for you?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, GM. No problem at all. Thank you so much for taking time to join us.
I still can't believe it. I'm still shaking. My heart's shaking. I thought I wouldn't win, but I'm still very shocked I actually won. I'm still new to the community, so I'm still getting a hang of everything. I just joined like 2 weeks ago. I found out about this, and only last week I started getting into this raffle and started looking at everything. But I've been so excited, and I still can't believe it. I actually won the Tesla.
Congratulations once again. And it seems like you may have one of the highest number of spins. How did that all work out for you?
Initially, I wasn't trying to win the Tesla. I thought the chance of actually winning the Tesla was quite low because there was like 14,000 tickets initially sold. So maybe like a few percent chance I had. So I wasn't trying to win the Tesla. I was just trying to get some NFTs. I had some cool NFTs in there. So I thought maybe I could get some cool NFTs. So I kept spinning and spinning. And then eventually, without realizing, I guess I did end up being one of the top spinners. And then after that, I kind of planned maybe if I keep going higher, maybe I'll have a higher chance to win something bigger. But I wasn't initially honestly thinking I would win the Tesla. So that's still a shock to me.
Oh, congratulations. This is unreal. This entire sort of, story all coming together is just unreal. Congratulations. How would you have felt if you did not win the Tesla? Because you were already leading by a huge margin or a decent margin even before the Tesla was announced, I believe.
I was, but last night I was like, for instance, last night I was checking my odds of winning and it was like barely 6% out of, so it was like 94% chance of losing. So I still wasn't hoping that I'd win the Tesla. It was like, I think I honestly got lucky. And I think it's the shock is still in my system because I always wanted a Tesla. I happen to have like a supercharger or Tesla near me, and every time I go to the gas station, I see it. It's like connected to the gas station. And one day I was like, I'm going to have a Tesla one day, and I'm going to charge my Tesla there. So it's kind of funny that enough that I actually have to get to experience it and finally have a Tesla to use it.
Wow! Congratulations! This is really impressive. Wow, we're really. Tesla just by playing the claw machine. Congratulations once again. Hope you're excited and hope this is the Christmas gift that you've been waiting for. Although a little
bit. I'm really excited, part of the community too. I'm really enjoying the community, and I'm really excited to be part of the community. I've been reading the newsletter and been getting so excited that I actually found something that I actually want to be part of the community and help the community grow. So overall, really excited.
All right, yeah. Welcome to the committee. Most importantly, very excited to have you here, and I'm sure you can, pass on a couple of skills or two around, acing every raffle, in the near future. Congratulations once again. Very excited to have you here. Please, coordinate with our team member around redeeming your prize Tesla. Congratulations.
I will.
All right, so this is how the 24 days of Monkey has concluded. It's so heartwarming to hear of our sort of real users' stories around how they interacted with the claw machine, and just a very heartwarming and a very wholesome experience of just playing out the claw machine and then getting a chance to win a grand prize like this. So to everyone else who did spin the machine, there are probably many different prizes that we've loaded. Before we transit away and officially close out the entire 24 days of Monkey. And we will also want to take a minute to shout out the full list of partners that we've put together. First up the list is, of course, Soulflare, Major, Duco. Shout out to the three of them for being huge anchor partners, especially Soulflare as well. Because this would not have been possible if they didn't give us the first yes. In the early days, this was a very brief and very rough idea of like, hey, we want to do this, we want to do that. And they just basically said, okay, this sounds crazy, but you know what? Just run with it. So shout out to them, Major Duco as well, for coming on as like anchor partners. There are also a list of partners that we want to shout out and give thanks to for their close collaboration, and also a lot of folks who sort of chipped in and donated to the machine as well. Here are the different partners: Tire Robotics, Portals, and Monkey Baby Business, Tensor, BUU or Boo. Sometimes I pronounce it wrongly. Please forgive me. Boroku, Zeus Network, and there is Multi, Divin, Solana Mobile, Solana Play, Keystone, Bongbot, BT Cat, Honeyland, Chom, Tesla, Solarians, Blue Bong, Epicentral Labs, Blob, P3P3. I believe that is like another way of calling PP or Pepe. And there's also a Mushroom, not mushroom, but Mushroom. So shout out to all the partners. We may have possibly missed out a couple as well for folks who actually did chip into the machine. So apologize if we did miss you out. But this has been an extremely awesome and very wholesome experience with the 24 days of Monkey. Without all of you coming together, this entire campaign would not even be half as successful as what we have seen today. So shout out to everyone. All right, so it seems like there is also going to be a brief transition. There are a lot of conversations around as well as what will be happening to the machine. Take note that with the raffle now wrapped up, the 24 days of Monkey machine will now have a slight refresh in terms of prices. According to Stro, who is the claw machine master, he is now reshuffling the prices so that the odds will be better. The prices will now be reorganized such that it makes it will be kept open for an unspecified period of time, in which the prices could potentially be cleared out gradually. All right. So take note that your Monkey tokens, your Monkey Play tokens can no longer be used, and it will just be Sol alone. All right. Solana alone. All right. So keep a lookout for that. We'll continue to put out more announcements as well as we get that ready. All right. So we should be ready to transit to the end of the town hall where the raffle will be done live. Now, before that, I also just want to quickly share this, but I'll make sure, we don't spend too much time on this, as this is probably a very lengthy piece. Today, we are also very excited to share the year in review of 2024 for MonkeDAO. And I just pinned the tweet there as well. This is the very first time we're trying to roll out, content on X via an article format. So highly appreciate any feedback that you guys can give us. But this article basically documents the 2024 year in review, as well as also hopefully provide some insights as to what we are looking to nail and work towards to in 2025. So feel free to go check it out. We will take some time to run through them in depth in the next town hall session when we get back together live as well. All right. And of course, if you have any comments and feedback, feel free to let us know. Take note that there will also be no town hall for the first Friday of the year, as this is kind of like a tradition that we've always done. The first Friday of the year, we usually, sort of set a small little break in between for that Friday. So take note that next Friday, you are free to go and have a TGIF. No Friday, no monkey town hall on Friday. And we will get ready to resume. I believe that will be, let me just check the date. This will be on the 10th of December. So, 10th of January, that will be the next town hall. And that's why we will also run through the year in review in depth as well. All right. So without further delay, it's now time to pass the stage time to our raffle master, Moon Settler, who will be running the raffle of Pengu tokens live. Everyone who retweeted the tweet that was already pinned, the first pinned tweet in this entire spaces will be eligible for the raffle. All right. So whenever you're ready, Moon Settler, feel free to take over the stage.
All right, GM. Can everybody hear me? I hope so.
Yes.
No. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll start off with the Pengu raffle. We'll have 3 winners for this. So as we mentioned, it'll be the those who retweeted the tweet. So you can see my screen here. I'm going through the process of getting this loaded up to go ahead and pick a winner. We'll do the free option because that's all we got for right now. All right, profile age definitely has to be an active, a real account. Let's apply the filters. Loading. All right, let's see. Okay, pick winners. We'll go ahead and pick winners. We'll have 3 winners because there's going to be 3 different winners of this. So let's go ahead and see who the winners are for the Pengu raffle from the town hall attendees. All right, so we got Alexiart, Peace Plethora, and Nat Booby. Jemmy or Simon, can you all just double check and make sure that these are active listeners, or if you are an active listener in the space, just either request to come up.
I think Peace Plethora, I think, is Dead Majesty.
Yeah, I know Peace Plethora is Dead Majesty. The other 2, Alexiart and Nat Bibuli, can we just confirm that those are active in the space here? While you do that, so just take note of those names. I will proceed with the following 2 raffles that we also have to do and complete here today. So first up, we have one more drawer for the light boxes, being that one person no longer wanted to fulfill that order. So let's go ahead. I've added the names here. So there's going to be 1 raffle winners. This is for the light box using the initial entries that went into that draw. So we'll go ahead and spin here and see who the winner of that light box is. And the first winner is Paracetamol. All right, so that will be the winner of that one. The ad. Yeah, the ads. So we'll double check and confirm. I don't know who that is or what that person is, who that member may be. If that member is skip the ad, I'll double check and we'll redraw it if not. Next up, we have the barrel raffle for this week, week 57. We'll go ahead and add all the entries in here. Here we have 5 winners. So let's go ahead and shuffle and begin with the first draw. This is the second to last draw. After this town hall today, there will be 1 more upload of barrels, and that will be the final round of allocation. Go to Pulse Wallet. I think this is the D-Gen on that. So that's first up. Second up. Second raffle winner for this week is Undefined. Your name. All right. Second raffle, third up for the barrel raffle is third raffle winner is Perpetual. Shuffle it up. Fourth winner for this week's barrel raffle. Fourth up is Sursoon. And fifth and final raffle winner for this week is let's see who we got. Albert Yananaki. All right, so the 5 raffle winners, as always, we double check all the winners, make sure that there's no alt accounts. Unfortunately, that is a problem that we deal with. So Pulse Wallet, Undefined, Cara Petrol, Sursoon, and Albert something. All right, and as mentioned, this is the second last drawing that we had. We have one more drop of these raffles that will happen and be dropped on the banana stand at some point here after the town hall for the last drawing of the year and the last drawing of the allocation that was previously allocated to the banana stand from previous vote. All right, that's it for me. Back over to you, Jeremy.
All right, congratulations to everyone, especially our very own Dev Majesty as well, who got so lucky with the giveaway. And I hope you guys are excited and are ready to end off the year with a huge bang. And yes, who's at the free?
Were we able to confirm these other 2 individuals for the Pangu draw that they're active here in the town hall, or do we need a redraw?
All right, let's see. We may have a snapshot of the attendees, so we may be able to sort of cross-check there. But if we do one, we may just want to sort of pick 2 additional winners that we can see, because some of the winners may have their names masked. Sorry, some of the attendees may have their names masked with the limited, listeners that we have shown here. So if you want, we can maybe pick 2 more, and so that folks know that they may still have a chance to win.
Okay, I'll go ahead and redraw 2 more.
I do see Dev and Alexia in the chat in the audience, so maybe just one more there.
Okay, all right. One more. Can't confirm that this person will be an actual winner because we will have to validate the other name. But in case it is someone else, Twitchy, you are the backup for the Pangu. There you go.
All right. Wow. Congratulations. All right. Thank you so much, Moon. Appreciate you taking the time to help us run the raffles. Before we end off and get ready to enjoy the New Year season in full steam, I do have to let everybody know that, as we mentioned as well, the 24 Days of Monkey Machine just got reorganized. And I have some internal news that the stats are insanely in your favor if you are going to play the machine. This is not any financial advice. Since this is recorded, please take note that none of this is any financial advice. But every single price that was outstanding in the previous machine has been now put together, has been now re-aggregated. The odds will now be in your favor. Very, very much in your favor. But I believe there could only be a limited number of plays left. So if you are interested to play it out, just take note that you may have to do so soon. But the word out on the street is that the odds are very, very much in your favor, because this is not about, making money or anything. This is just about giving out all the love that is left there on the claw machine. All right, in the claw machine. So the best. If you are ready to spin, feel free to go check out play.monkedao.io.
Sorry, Jemmy, can you hear me? Sorry to interrupt. Just one thing. If for the Pangu Twitter draw, if you aren't a member of MonkeDAO, firstly, just please get a monkey. But secondly, just DM the MonkeDAO account so we can get you your wallet.
All right. So with that, we are ready to end of the year with our very, very last Monkey Town Hall December edition. Shout out to Luca from Pudgy Penguin as well for taking the time to join us. And for all, well, I can't remember even how many of you we've seen here, at least 300, or so 400 members that took time out of your precious Friday to join us. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we wish you an amazing, well, Merry Christmas that you just had, and Happy New Year upcoming. Without further delay, our resident DJ, Super Simon, will be sending you away with some amazing, great vibes with some very specially curated music.
Going up to the moon like Apollo. You ain't MonkeDAO, tough pill to swallow. See us leading, they follow. They be dragging out while it's like we hit the lotto. You shouldn't have faded, you're not gonna make it. You waited too long. Ain't no debate, we are, we made it, we are.